back to the shop. It's finally the weekend again, so time to play. We got the place in decent shape, so we're ready to jam on these LFX cars. Chris just pulled the transmission off Moose, and you gotta check out this dual mass flywheel. So this thing was having some clutch issues, and look how floppy this thing is. I mean, just sitting there under its own weight. So now we can compare that. One nice thing about having two cars is that you can pretty easily compare. This one doesn't move at all. So something has gone wrong on this thing. Now we do have another flywheel sitting on the shelf, so it's not going to be a big deal. We'll get this thing stripped off. Of course, we did this one at the track, and when we did it at the track, we did not change the flywheel. We were just a little short on time, but we will now. Anyway, the gearbox is off, so we'll take a look at that next. But first, we've already pulled one of these apart, so gotta get things a little organized, but it took us a little time. Had to make a tool. You gotta get this plug out to be able to take the snap ring that holds the output shaft. Yeah, had to make that slug. I have a 27mm socket. I did not have 27mm Allen, but now I do. Get these little snap rings out here. Later, we'll talk about what went wrong with Moose's gearbox. Yeah, you get this clutch apart. Alright, we got the back side of the dual mass flywheel part. Got the rivets that hold it all together, and the drive plate here, which is what absorbs everything. And then right here, it's supposed to be a bearing, but it's broken. Looks like the outer race shattered. Balls are all smoked. So yeah, I guess that's what holds the distance between this side and this side, and we lost that. So not sure what type of effect, but definitely something we need to fix. Chris's fault. Alright, we've got these shift forks here, so this is the selector set, and what happened during the race is that the selector here, which can actuate one of these, had engaged fourth gear, but then when it went to shift from fourth to fifth, somehow it pushed this fork over enough for it to then slide between the two and end up right here between them, which left fourth gear engaged. When one gear is engaged like that, then all of these little ball detents push against each other. There's a little track in here, and it's basically an interlock, so only one can be engaged at a time. So the only way you would have been able to get this gearbox unstuck was to put fourth gear back into neutral. But of course, to get fourth gear back into the neutral, we'd have to be on it and pull it up. And once this was between the two, it actually slid all the way to basically here. And this fork could not move because the interlock was engaged, and this gearbox was basically bricked. So you're probably wondering what keeps these things from moving around. So pinned on the top here is pinned to the top is one of these, which really can't move that far side to side or twist, but apparently just enough. Or these shafts are a little weak, but they're pretty beefy. The other thing that keeps the distance here are some of these are connected together. So if I slide this one out of the way here, see this one here can also move freely, but this one is got this little arm that sticks over and holds here. And this one here is connected to this shaft here. So these two cannot move. These two can't move that way. But these two end ones, they can move around, and they can move this way. Obviously not a lot, but just enough. Alright, got some things cleaned up. Chris is playing with the gear set just enough. You can see those can definitely move. So that's what we're here to fix. Alright, well this ended up easier than actually making a cutaway case. We just left this section out. So, okay. Alright, well, already getting a little late today, and well, we got the gearbox apart, and I'll show you what's up with that. That one looks pretty toast. Probably due to that dual mass flywheel bearing breaking, and it seemed like they said they kept having more and more issues shifting the gearbox, like the clutch was dragging. And I think that just ate the synchros, so I'll show you those rings. So yeah, we got kind of a normal looking one here. I'm sure that's hard for the camera to focus on. And we got the toasted one. We're about to cut this thing up to use it as a clutch alignment tool. So I was just getting it rinsed off here, but alright, here. Up in there, see a bunch of very damaged teeth. See, there's the other side. Those are supposed to be like little T's, and instead they're just little slopes. They should look a little more like that one there. And this thing doesn't really move anymore, so I can just about get it into where second gear would be. Unfortunately, yeah, it will not go into first, just because there's too much damage on all these little teeth here. Ooh, alright, Chris has a clean prepped shaft, so our conclusion basically is that this piece is moving separate from the shaft and allowing this to twist. So we're going to braze these together, and hopefully that's going to solve our issues with this selector. Alright, I decided not to braze this together. Didn't feel comfortable heating the base material up that much, so I just did as little TIG welding as I could get away with, and left a little spot open, and then I put some self-wicking bearing retainer in here to kind of ooze its way down and out there. So I think between the bearing retaining compound and this is some nickel 99 rod that I just TIGged on here, this thing is going to be rock solid. So hopefully that's going to fix our shift fork issues, and hopefully just a fresh clutch will fix the other gearbox, which took a little work from the abrasive wheel, but got that cut. Get this bearing off, and then we've got the perfect clutch alignment tool. I've got some test samples for some 3D printing material, and I just had these little weights on them for a few days to kind of see basically how they set. So the gist is that this polycarbonate one is now permanently bent from the weight sitting on it for 2 days. And then we've got this one here. This is nylon, and it's got a little bend to it. The one over here, this is carbon fiber nylon, which is nice and stiff, definitely the stiffest by all of them, but also has now kind of a permanent bend in it. So let's see. Then this one here, this is ASA, and this has had no issues. It's not quite as stiff as the carbon nylon. This polycarbonate is probably the softest one. I'm going to guess this is a bad batch. And next up then probably the base nylon, which feels about the same as the ASA. And then the carbon ASA is definitely the stiffest. And yeah, I mean, you can see, it's hard to tell now, and they slowly come back up, but this ASA is really working out well. It doesn't seem to have any creep at all. I had weights on here for 2 days, and as soon as I took them off, it's dead straight again. So So far that's the winner, and next I'm probably going to do some temperature testing, and I've got some different polycarbonate to try. So also got some flame retardant polycarbonate. Go put that in Tramp. Alright Chris, what do we got? You fixed up?
Yeah, we got the gearbox partially put back together with our modified 5/6.
Ooh, yeah, let me check that bad boy out.
So,
yeah, got that guy on there.
And it is nice and stiff now. Look at there. There's no movement there. It was flopping all over the place before.
Oh, those are nice and tight.
Those are nice and tight, baby.
All right.
I'm slipping between those now.
There we go. Fixed. Easy. Can't wait to take apart the next one and have to do it again.
So yeah, is that going to be like a...
That's going to be a thing. Yeah, that's a thing we have to do on every one now.
Well, we'll see. We'll see how this works, and maybe it's a thing.
It's a thing. All right. Let's get the rest of these bolts back in and get the bits back on. And then we got to build some motors. Ooh, motor building.
I'm going to go paint.
Yeah, I bet. All right, things are coming along. Chris is over here, rocking and rolling on
CAD. Cardboard edit design. Yes.
Yes. Get some oil pan baffles sorted out. We've got a couple LFX parts all over. Motor number, what are we up to? 4? Motor number 4 is coming together. So this thing's all cleaned up, and we've got the right front cover to go back on. We've got a couple gearboxes now. There's the one we finished the other day. We'll get this one knocked out here soon. And that's 2000's in the shop. And let's see over here. The boys are in town to work on Tramp. Tramp's getting some fresh paint. She's all cleaned up. Much less crispy. Guys are absolutely killing it so far. Jason too. What do you got going on in here? Ooh, floor paint. No more rust. Cool. So we got this subframe prepped and cleaned and ready to go. That's Moose's. Tramp's still has some work to do, but the guys will be on this in no time. They are cruising. And I've got to get the BMW serviced and out of here. Had a fun but rough Saturday at the track. Got the front end crunched in pretty good. Poor oil cooler. But it held together. Kept me from having a bad day, so I'm gonna get the old OSB off of here because the wing over here did break, so it's now a little floppy. So we'll get that thing unbolted and go carve out another one. We'll be good to go. Everything else looks awesome on this thing. Front bumper does not look awesome. It looks like it had a very bad time. So all of these patches are, well, most of them are from NASA Nationals a couple years ago. Some more recent ones. Then we've got some plates that I had on here to hold things together, and now it's in pieces again. So this thing is really due for retirement. So I need to find a front bumper. Maybe I'll get a stock one, but this has these flares on it to line up with these flares. So I'm really not sure what to do. If anyone knows where this stuff came from, hit me up. But I got some of this sheet metal here is all shoved backward, so it's hitting the tires. So I'm gonna get up the slide hammer, get to work. we're doing here is these original caps took up about 1 inch of room as far as height, and we wanted to drop the fuel cell down onto these subframes, at least as far as we could. So, cut off these caps here and making our own. That'll be able to drop the fuel cell all the way down to the differential. Cool. Got these done and welded on. Hardware in there. Pretty sweet deals. Now the subframe is basically level with these points here, which is 1 inch different than what it was without having to actually move the position of really anything. So that was easy. Towards me. Got this diff. This was sent over by Darian for backup S2k. So we're going to tear it down and get him a fresh built race diff. Hopefully this thing's good. And we can build him something nice out of it. Whew, that is not fresh fluid. It's pretty cooked. Well, it's oddly black. Still seems okay. We'll use this broken 410 then that's in here, and hey, get it cleaned up. That is dark. Let the parts washer have a go at it. I think I'll leave it on a longer than normal cycle. All of it. That is pretty cool.
Little ramps here, here, here.
Yep.
And there, and then just kind of drop
nice.
into place. And you take your little pickup tube. Sits right there.
Very cool. Oh jeez. There's all kinds of stuff in there now.
That's right. All the bits.
All the bits.
Hope it works.
That plus about 10 quarts of oil should be good.
You fill it to here.
Yeah, exactly.
Right here.
Yep. All the way up to right now, and we're good.
Yep.
Things have been in there for a while. Hey, there we go. Okay, cool. Still some baked goodness down there. Probably just had a bad angle for it. And the diff. There we go. That's the correct color for all that metal. Alright, got this thing back out of the wash. Looking a little better. I mean, yeah, it's a little black still, but that's alright. Get it apart. Loosen these babies a little bit. Just gonna take the locks off. I need these where we're going. And we need to loosen up these bearings here. That wasn't very tight. Make sure these are loosened up a little before you try and take this thing loose. Yeah, there we go. Alright, cool. Pull these caps off. Alright, awesome. Alright. Should be easy. Bearings. Well, I put new ones in, but we'll keep track for now, just in case. Come here, little guy. Like that. Alright. Other than getting hot at some point, everything feels nice and smooth. But we're still going to pull this out because we got a solid sleeve to install and change out this differential. Probably put new bearings on because we're here. And we're ready to go. So I'll get some parts out, get cleaned up. Ooh, floppy. Ooh, look at that. We're not gonna need that where we're going. There it is. Alright, factory LSD, don't need that. Do need this. Let's get it cleaned up a little more. And we're going to go around and treat all these edges here. Give them just a light radius. So I'll show you that in a bit. Saturday, work has started. Boys have got the square tubing on the cell. About to get some vertical mounts figured out. Chris has got a long block pretty much assembled. He is ready to rock pretty much. A couple things. Gotta grab a belt, a couple things from the store. Got a clutch alignment tool. Awesome. Perfect. Stab it in the car.
Yep.
I can tilt the back up so you can get those, I guess. Got the Charmander.
He's a good boy.
Who's a puppy? Who's
Not
our
him.
big puppy? Oh, yeah.
The opposite of a puppy.
What are you going to do? Who you going to get? You going to get it? Go get it. Oh, sneezy. He's ready.
Ready for whatever.
Ready for stuff. Okay, let's pull it out. Chris is on that. We got the race on.
There's only
WRL's on.
what is there? It looks like it's
Fortunately, my boy Foresight's out. Fuel fire. One's been hard at work. Got a framed out mounted fuel cell. Another tiny piece of the puzzle. I just ran a set of baffles. Just knocked a set of these little baffly bits out on the plasma cutter. Came out really nice. Second version of that, even better, made a couple tweaks, so this process will be pretty dialed in here. Pretty excited.
Yep.
At least for our whole, three production run. It's okay. Even by the second one, it saves time to cat it.
Yeah.
Not helping, I've been doing a little project that I've been meaning to do for a while. So I've got my bandsaw here, and it was missing this piece in the middle. So I just did a quick drawing and had the plasma cut it out. Just made it out of some scrap steel we had laying around. That's nice and thick, 3/16. And the slot is actually off-centered. It's a little odd, but I checked everything. That just seems to be kind of how it is. So, and then I've had these like little wooden guides on here, and they don't really do that much. So I've got some of these tool steel. Well, I had a chunk of tool steel, and I whittled it down to these little cubes. So this is the first one, and it's got a little slot so it can move a little bit. And yeah, Those are going to screw right on there. We'll adjust the blade out so the teeth aren't hitting it. And not as important for this, well, actually, I'd like to hold this little blade really nice because, you know, we're always trying to twist metal, but... And then I've got some much larger 3/4 inch blades, so these will give us a lot more meat. And hopefully last a lot longer. Alright, there they are. Nice and snug. Cuts either straight or curved. Really easy to control. So, pretty happy about that. One there, one down there. So much better. Alright. Dumb little project, but needed to get done. Got some baffle bits.
Coming together very quickly now.
Yeah, awesome job. That's pretty much going to wrap it up for this episode. So hopefully we'll get these finished and back in the car, and well, I'm sure there'll be another episode before then, but excited to get out and try all this stuff again. So thanks for sticking around, and hopefully this upcoming week we'll do some work on the S2000, so that'll be fun. Feel free to like and subscribe, and we'll see you next time.